Dear students, let's go to the next poem in your textbook, Snake, written by D.H. Lawrence. D.H. Lawrence is an English novelist, poet, and literary critic. In his works, he criticizes the mechanical and material nature of modern industrial life, which robs people of spiritual and positive human qualities. The poem Snake is taken from an anthology called Birds, Bees, and Flowers. This poem questions modern man's attitude to nature. Lawrence sees the presence of a vital, spontaneous, instinctive life in animals which man seems to have lost already. In this poem, the speaker's materialistic education caused him to kill the snake, but something deep in him creates a feeling of regret at his loathsome or hateful act of attempting to hurt it unprovoked. Let's read the poem now. A snake came to my water trough on a hot day, and I in pyjamas for the heat to drink there. In the deep, strange-scented shade of the great dark carob tree, I came down the steps with my pitcher and must stand and wait, for there he was at the trough before me. He reached down from a fissure in the earth wall in the gloom and trailed his yellow-brown slackness soft belly down over the edge of the stone trough, and rested his throat upon the stone bottom, and where the water had dripped from the tap in a small clearness. He sipped with his straight mouth softly, drank through his straight gums into his slack long body silently. Someone was before me at my water trough, and I, like a second comer, waiting. He lifted his head from his drinking as cattle do, and looked at me vaguely as drinking cattle do, and flickered his forked tongue from his lips and mused a moment, stooped and drank a little more, being earth-brown, earth-golden from the burning bubbles of the earth on the day of Sicilian July with Etna smoking. The voice of my education said to me he must be killed, for in Sicily the black snakes are innocent and the gold are venomous. And voices in me said, if you were a man, you would take a stick and break him now and finish him off. But I must confess how I liked him, how glad I was he had come like a guest and quiet to drink at my water trough and depart peaceful, pacified, and thankless into the burning bubbles of this earth. Was it cowardice that I dared not kill him? Was it perversity that I longed to talk to him? Was it humility to feel so honored? I felt so honored. And yet those voices, if you were not afraid, you would kill him. And truly I was afraid, I was most afraid. But even so honored still more that he should seek my hospitality from out the dark door of the secret earth. He drank enough, lifted his head dreamily as one who has drunken, and flickered his tongue like a forked knife on the air, so black seeming to lick his lips, and looked around like a god unseeing into the air, and slowly turned his head, and slowly, very slowly, as if thrice a dream, proceeded to draw his slow length curving round and climb again the broken bank of my wall face. And as he put his head into that dreadful hole, and as he slowly drew up, snake easing his shoulders and entered farther, a sort of horror, a sort of protest against his withdrawing into the horrid black hole, deliberately going into the blackness and slowly drawing himself after, overcame me. Now his back was turned. I looked around, I put down my pitcher, picked up a clumsy log and threw it at the water trough with a clatter. I think it did not hit him, but suddenly that part of him that was left behind convulsed in an undignified haste, wreathed like lightning, and was gone into the black hole. The earth leaped fissure in the wall front, at which, in the intense still noon, I stared with fascination. And immediately I regretted it. I thought how paltry, how vulgar, what I mean act. I despised myself and the voices of my echoes human education. And I thought of the albatross, and I wished he would come back, my snake. For he seemed to me again like a king in exile, uncrowned in the underworld, now due to be crowned again. And so I missed my chance with one of the lords of life, and I have something to expiate a bitterness. Look at the first stanza. A snake came to my water trough. Water trough is a container. Trough is a container in which normally water is kept for the cattle to drink. A snake came to my water trough on a hot day, and I was in my pajamas at that time because of the intense heat, and the snake came to drink water. A snake came to my water trough on a hot day to drink water from my water trough, and at that time, because of the intense heat, I was in my pajamas. In the deep, strange, scented shade of the great dark carob tree. Carob is a kind of tree. And the poet says, in the deep, strange, scented, sweet smelling shade of the tree, the carob tree, I came down the steps with my pitcher, with my pot to collect water, the vessel to collect water. And now I must stand and wait, because he was at the trough before me. I came down the steps with my pitcher and must stand and wait, because the snake had reached the trough before I did. So I was behind him, so naturally I had to wait till he finished drinking water. And must stand and wait, for there he was. Who is he here? The snake. So the snake is described as a man. For there he was at the trough before me. Since he was ahead of me, I had to wait till he finished drinking. He reached down, the snake. Snake is compared to a human being here. He says, he reached down from a fissure. He reached down from a fissure. Fissure is a crack in the earth wall, in the gloom, the dark, and trailed his yellow-brown slackness, soft belly down over the edge of the stone trough. He reached down. Where did he come from? He came from a fissure. Fissure is a crack. He came from a fissure, a crack in the surface. In the earth wall, there is a crack, there is a hole. He came out through the hole, in the gloom, in the darkness there, and trailed his yellow-brown slackness. It refers to the slow, lethargic movement of the snake. And soft belly down over the edge of the stone trough, and he rested his throat upon the stone bottom. So he came down from a hole in the wall, then trailed his yellow-brown slackness, soft belly down. He is yellow, the snake is yellow in color, yellow-brown, and his yellow-brown slackness, soft belly down. He comes over the edge of the stone trough and keeps his throat upon the stone bottom, and where the water had dripped from the tap in a small clearness. He keeps his throat upon the stone bottom, where the water had come down from the tap or dripped from the tap in a small clearness. Keeping his throat there, he drank with his straight mouth, softly drank through his straight gums into his slack, loose, long body silently. So, keeping his throat on the stone bottom, he went on sipping, drinking with his straight mouth. Softly he drank through his mouth the gum into his slack, loose, long body silently. Someone was before me at the water trough. Here, someone refers to the snake. Someone was before me at my water trough, and since I was a second comer, I had to wait. So I kept waiting till he finished drinking. He lifted his head from his drinking as cattle do. What do the cattle do? The cattle drink water for some time, then raise their heads and look around. In the same way, the snake, after drinking for a while, lifts its head and looks around. He looked at me vaguely here without seeing me, unclearly. He looked at me vaguely, as drinking cattle do. Drinking cattle also do the same thing, and flickered his two-forked tongue, shook. His two-forked, the tongue of a snake which divides into two-forked tongue from his lips, and mused a moment, mused here, thought for a moment, and stooped, bent, and drank a little more. After drinking water for some time, it raises its hood, it raises its head, looks around. After some time, again drinks water, again stoops and starts drinking water. Being earth brown, look at the color of the snake here. It is earth brown, earth golden, from the burning bowels of the earth. Since it has come out of the bowels here, inner parts, inner areas of the earth, which are burning, because that's a place where the volcanoes are found. So the writer says, being earth brown, earth golden, from the burning bowels of the earth on the day of Sicilian July. Sicily is a place in Italy. On the day of Sicilian July, July is supposed to be very hot, very warm, supposed to be very warm. And on the day of Sicilian July, with Etna smoking. Etna is the name of a volcano. So volcano is going to erupt. It is smoking. So from such golden earth, from such earth brown, such earth golden, from the burning bowels of the earth, in Sicily, the snake came out. So naturally, the snake looks earth brown. The snake looks earth golden. Since the snake came out of the burning bowels of the earth in Sicily, which has got Etna there. Now Etna is going to erupt, the volcano is going to erupt, and the earth is slowly burning inside. So from the burning stomach of the earth, the snake comes out. Naturally, the snake appears to be earth brown and earth golden. The voice of my education said to me, the voice of my education, the voice of my civilization, upbringing, said to me, he must be killed. When I saw the snake, I respected it. I felt that he was my guest. I felt that he was my fellow being. I felt that he was another person. I felt that he was a human being. So I also felt that I should wait till he finished. But the voice of my civilization said to me, oh no, he must be killed. It is not a man, it is a snake, it should be killed. Because in Sicily, there is a belief among the people that the black snakes are innocent, whereas the gold snakes are venomous, poisonous. The voice of my education told me he must be killed because a gold snake is supposed to be venomous, poisonous. And voices in me said, if you were a man, you would take a stick and break him down and finish him off. And the voices of my civilization also told me, the voices within me told me, If you are courageous, if you are a real man, you will take a stick and break him down and kill him off. But I must confess, I must admit, I must agree that I liked him so much. Even though the voices within me told me I should kill him, let me tell you, I liked him very much. I considered him as a friend, as a human being. How glad I was he had come like a guest. I treated him as my guest. He had come to my house to drink water, so naturally he was my guest and quite to drink at my water trough. He had come to drink water from my water trough, so naturally he is a friend of mine. I know that after drinking water he would depart peacefully, pacified, calm and quiet, thankless because it doesn't know how to speak, into the burning bowels of the earth. I know he will depart after drinking water. He'll go back peacefully, calmly, without thanking me, back into the burning bowels of the earth from where he had emerged. Was it cowardice? Cowardice here, fear, lack of courage. That I dare not kill him, so he's asking himself, why didn't I try to kill the snake? Was it because I was a coward? Was it my perversity, abnormal nature, that I longed to talk to him? Normally, humans are scared of snakes, but I loved it. Was it my perversity? Was I perverted? Was it humility? I felt so honored. Is it because of my humility? I felt so honored when I saw the snake drinking from my trough. Was it perversity that I longed to, desired to talk to him? Was it humility? I felt so honored. I felt so honored by the guest. And yet those voices told me, kept telling me, if you were not afraid, you would kill him.